I am PHALOS Mode. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to get right to it. Um, the allegations of Sean Puffy Combs is outrageous. It's like 15 allegations, different people coming out every single day. So like I said, we all can see that this shit is starting to turn into WWF, and it's a major smear campaign. But the topic of this subject of today is, how is Diddy holding up in jail while locked up? How is he holding up? You feel? That's what I want to know. And so some say that, he's in an isolated place to where, basically a PC to keep him away from everybody. But when you know that you're going to be a place and be there for some time, then you start to come with mechanisms and survival tactics to survive up in here. Actually, Diddy can turn this shit all the way around if he really wanted to, with the power. Because after a while, all these allegations, he can't be doing all of these things. This is definitely a smear campaign. And, but when you're in jail, when you finally face the fact that you're not getting out, you're not gonna get out, they're gonna have me here for a minute. Then you start coming with your mechanisms and tools of survival. I look at it, if Martha Stewart can survive jail, Diddy can survive jail too. You know what I mean? He has plenty money. And if I was Diddy, what I would be doing is, I wouldn't be throwing myself out there to the lions and trying to be cool with everybody. But just like R. Kelly, after a while, when you sit up in jail, after a while, I don't give a fuck what you done did as far as your accolades and what you accomplished outside in the outside world. When you're in jail, you're a number. You know what I'm saying? And so after a while, you could be standoffish or to yourself or intricate to yourself, but it's going to be a lonely place. Like Puff used to say, it's a dark, lonely place. So he has plenty of money. If I was him, if I was Puff, I would be putting money on niggas' books. That's what I'll be doing. If I was Puff, I would be putting money on certain prisoners and different prisoners' books. You got way more than enough money. That's how you get cool in jail. Niggas be like, at first they be like, man, fuck that nigga Puff, man, fuck that. Because they looking at TV, they show some footage of Diddy being in jail. He said he don't even watch the TV. He turned the TV on, all he sees is himself on there. So imagine the rest of those prisoners. They looking at TV too. In prison, they'll stab you for anything. In prison, in jail, they'll stab you for anything. Honey buns, a reputation, or anything. Niggas will stab you just because of the fact of you on TV and you in the same facility that they in. You feel what I'm saying? Niggas will stab you. Motherfuckers will stab you for anything. When I was locked up, one of my homies told me, he said, "PHALOS, let me tell you something. You can get out, and you gonna get out." He was like, "But I'm gonna tell you something, my G." He said, "If I catch you back up in here, I'm going to stab you." So I turned around, looked, I was like, "Right on." Like he was like, I took it as a term of endearment. Like I seen him stab people for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I took it as a term of endearment. He's like, "You can do something with your life, PHALOS." He said, "I don't never want to see you back up in here again." He just said, "I do see you up in here." He's like, "I'm going to stab you." I was like, right on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, right on. You know what I mean? But I'm just making light of it, but I'm just saying the seriousness of when you're locked up. You know what I mean? If I was Diddy, I would be putting money on motherfuckers' books. If Martha Stewart can go to jail, and Martha Stewart still keeps in contact with some of those inmates that she was locked up with, it didn't change Martha Stewart all the way, but it broadened her horizons. Instead of looking at people in jail like they nothing, anybody can go to fucking jail. And at the end of the day, these are all allegations. You know what I'm saying? They talk about who they seen, in these films and all that type of shit. And they talk about who they seen. So what? Most of these people are consensual. And even if they did find something, and what they've been saying is too also is that, I don't even see a Puff like being around no women that's 15 and 16 years old, 15 to 16 or 17 years old. What good? You would feel out of place, a grown ass man in his 50s talking to somebody that's 17. What could y'all even talk about? what can y'all even, you know what I mean? What can you even relate to? You feel what I'm saying? So what they're saying is the fact of, like, I've been saying, these are smear campaigns. These are smear campaigns. And his sons were the ones who was having these young girls over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, his sons were the ones who was having these young girls over there, and then they just threw them under the bus. You can tell this shit is a smear campaign. It should turn like WWF. You know what I mean? He couldn't possibly do all these things. You know, it's the fact of people, his demise is people's come up. These podcasts in different places, Piers Morgan and all that shit, they get money from this. You know what I'm saying? Diddy being on these publications and being all on these magazines and all that, he generate money for people by his demise. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not so quick to down or judge Diddy. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's an angel, but at the same token, I feel like this is a smear campaign. He done pissed off some higher ups, and so they keeping it rolling. They just keeping it rolling on him. But I just feel like the moment when you're in jail and you realize that you're not getting out, that's when you have to start coming with your survival tactics. Piers Morgan is a podcaster. Basically, he has his own. He's more than a podcaster. He has his own show, and so this is the place where Jaguar Wright had got on there and spoke down about Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? She had been speaking about Jay-Z and Beyonce for years on different podcasts. You know, it really didn't matter until she got on a Piers Morgan. You know what I mean? And yes, there is footage. There is footage. I forget what hotel it was. They released the footage. And of course, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good beating on anybody like that. You know what I mean? Especially women. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, if a person was doing this to you, why would you be with them over 10 years? Is it the fact that she's used to the abuse? Or it was the fact of you get your ass whooped for being out of pocket or doing some way out shit, and then all of a sudden you say, hurry up and get dressed, we about to go to the Grammys. Are we going to the American Music Awards? Or are we going to, you know what I'm saying? And so, and I got a brand new, gowns and all this brand new shit for you. You know what I mean? And so it kind of like cushions the beatings. But if it only took a motherfucker one time to beat me and I'm out, I don't care how much money you had. You know what I mean? So I think that Cassie was just used to the abuse. And they say Cassie was also enjoying the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? She was a part of the lifestyle and she was getting high. She was an addict. You know, like most people in the music industry are, you know what I mean? Some can hide them better than others. But, you know, that $30 million cushion, I'm sure she's okay. That ass whipping, I'm sure she didn't forgot about that ass whipping by now. Well, she should be scared, you know what I'm saying? Because she's dealing with a very powerful man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm not condoning anything that what Diddy has done. I'm not saying he's an angel, but I definitely know when a smear campaign is going on where people is rocketing to for your demise. Now, I don't think it's a crime to be arrogant or just be an asshole. You know what I'm saying? There's no crime. That's not a crime. It just, when shit hits the fan, people are not going to be so quick to run to your defense. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a lot of things that's deeper than just the allegations of young children. You got to realize the same smear campaign went on with Michael Jackson. The kids they accused Michael Jackson of, as they got adults, they turned right around and was like, Michael did not do this to us. My mom made me say this. And the reason why my mom made me say this is because the police made her say it. That's what the issue is. You got to realize You got to realize the fact of when they made this design, black people was not in mind. So at the biggest shit of it is the fact of it's a black man having a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a bunch of racist ass white people that's out there that will look at that and see a person, a black man in a Bentley or living nice or living in a triplex or whatever, and his success makes them feel like they not on their job. And Crystal, whatever the fuck your name is, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to coming to my page with no picture on your shit and you talking about be quiet. You coming to my shit. Don't you got a man? You should have a man. If you had a man, you wouldn't be on here. Right? I keep forgetting that we on the internet and some weird shit, weirdos on here. Anyway, like I was saying, you know, if you really look at it, anybody black that got some money that's not in compliance or in alignment, they're all getting checked. You feel what I'm saying? They're all getting checked. From a Kanye to a Diddy, this is nothing but a smear campaign. And the quickest way that you can smear somebody's shit and how they shit fall apart like a bad burrito is mention some kids or mention underage kids. Ain't nobody flying with that. That's a no-fly zone. Don't nobody want to be flying with nobody messing with no kids. You know what I'm saying? But I know a smear campaign when I see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that Diddy is an angel. Of course not. But what I'm saying is it's bigger than just him doing some shit. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so quick. So people are so quick to throw you under the bus because if you're doing something good, don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear you doing anything good. That's not, it doesn't match the story of him SAing and having some young girls and pink cocaine and all. That's what people want to hear. It makes a better story. Okay, answer the what question? I mean, anyone that knows cars knows that it's Bentley. Of course they're overpriced. Of course, any type of luxury car, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. As soon as you drive it off the lot. Right. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Kanye lost that money. He lost his money, a certain amount of his money. He's like, I'm cool. I'm chilling. I'm not doing that. He about to do a porn company. You know what I'm saying? That's what Kanye is on. You know, I'm just saying, like, if you got some money, you got to realize when they see blacks, especially black men, you got to realize this racist shit and all this, the sickened dogs and water hoses and all that shit was about 60 years ago. About 60, 70 years ago. That's not that long. So when they see a black man rolling up in some shit and looking good and all that, he's not even flossing on them. He's not even trying to flaunt his wealth to them. But I'm just saying, all of a sudden you turn around and you look and you see it's just a sign to racist white people that they not on their job. They like, make America great again. That's when they start coming with some shit like that. Make America great again. When we used to be beat niggas and all that type of shit. I'm like, fuck, make America great again. Make America straight again. And it's always been about black and white. It's always been about black and white, always. And they made it so. You understand what I'm saying? I even put it out there, any ills that any black people, any black men are doing in the world, any ills, first of all, I'm not into any of that. It could sound how it's about to sound, but I don't mean it as such. But at the same time, I look at it like, if you bring in some people, as they say, they brought us from Africa and they taught us to speak, didn't want us to learn how to read and none of that shit. But when they brought us over here, we didn't know none of these ills of the world and none of this type of stuff. So I look at it like any black people that's on this type of shit, they learn different white people. What else did they learn it from? And I'm far from racist. I'm far from white stepfathers and all kind of shit. It don't have nothing to do about being on no racist shit or not. I'm just saying black and white is black and white because white people make it black and white. First thing they want to do is say, niggas go back home, go back to Africa, right? Go back to Africa, right? Right. All of a sudden they scared of us. They don't want us in the house. They don't want us in their homes and all that. But back in those days, in the 50s and 40s and all of that, who did they have in their homes? Black women. The nannies cooking. A lot of these times, these white children would turn on their white parents for the black nanny because she could understand. She would sit up. I tell no lies. I'm 50 years old, so I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I would see these things. You feel me? They act like they hate black people. They hate black people. They hate black people. But white people sure are tuned and very intrigued about black people and what we doing. It would be the most biggest uproar in the fucking world if black people all of a sudden was just like, all right, we done, we cool. You know how much money white people will lose out on? We make trillions of dollars for white people every single year. What really is the problem? They say they don't want to give us our reparations, like we didn't build this shit. They don't want to give us our reparations, right? But even if they did give us our reparations, this shit is going right back to white people anyway. It's just a fact shown that they don't want to see us up. And that's the reason why this Diddy shit is going on. I'm ignoring all the comments because it's a lot of weirdos and people not going to feel it. They don't like to hear the truth, but the truth is the truth. I need to knock that shit off. You know what I mean? Like, the only reason why this shit is going on the way it's going on because it's a bunch of white people in the world that don't like that racism shit. They don't like none of the separatism. They don't like none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason why you can't choose. You can't find out who is with it and who's not until it goes down. And so you got some white people that's not with no racism. You got white people that's not with none of that shit. They have black sons, interracial. They really wasn't even caring about black men and black men getting shot out until they slept with a black man and they had an interracial child. Now they worried about their child. You can hate and say all what y'all want to say. Still in all, the white man had his neck, his knee on the black man's neck so much and focused on us so much that now they're about to be the minority and the Mexicans are about to be the majority. Message. It ain't no, I'm happy. I'm definitely happy. Only time I don't be happy is when I go outside and I turn on the news or I see a lot of this bullshit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And this is coming from a person from a mind that's not racist. I don't have any racist bones in my body. But at the same time, you look at how controlled everybody is and how like brainwashed everybody is. Instead of just having common sense and being a human, having compassion, empathy. Everybody wants to, it's just crazy until it's happening to them. You know what I mean? So what I will end this with is start the loving and stop the hating. Let's all get together. America has not reached its full potential to everybody that's American. No matter what race you are, can get it and feel like somebody. Other than that, it's the same old racist, bigoted bullshit. I'll holler. And AW, you can say whatever. You can say whatever you want to say. You can say whatever you want to say. You act like I'm talking rhetoric. You act like I'm not talking some real shit. So that's what makes me think that you own some bullshit. If it is what it is, how come we can't meet in the middle? Somebody always got to say something fucked up. You know what I'm saying? To somebody when they speaking some real shit. If you ain't black, you should shut the fuck up. Message.